And then they would just say, oh, just stop thinking about it. Oh, thanks, like I haven't thought of that before. I had a lot of social anxiety for a period of my life. You know, I was seen as shy. I couldn't really speak to people, went to parties, and I was just kind of that person in the corner. Wouldn't really speak to anyone, or if I was in a group with my friends, I wouldn't really say anything, just standing there, just listening to everyone. No input into the conversation. So like I said, in social situations, parties, things like that, my body language would be terrible. I kind of be looking down a bit, slunched over, you know, shoulders down, didn't really speak to anyone, or if I did, it was when they approached me, and then you'd be like overthinking everything. And then you're standing there just like, oh, overthinking everything. Oh, why did I even bother turning up? You know, people looking at me, what do they think of me? Why are my palms sweating? Like what's going on? Oh, why did I wear these shoes? Oh, I've got stains on my shoes. Does my hair look awry? Why is my eye twitching? What drink is this? Do people like this drink? I don't even like this drink. Why did I get this drink? I got this drink because my friends got it. Maybe I should have got something else, but if I got something else, but people think I'm weird if I got that drink. I should have just worn a hat. My hair's not looking the best. Oh, my hands are sweating even more. And this would constantly be going on and on and on. Like demons inside, just on the internal. Constantly focused on the internal, not the external. It was like hell on a loop, but it would just keep going and going and going and going and going, and I'd be stuck there. Just my mind constantly talking to me, just not shutting up. Do you know what I mean? It was just constant. And it would just keep going and going and going and going. So you're probably thinking, so how did I overcome this? And it got to a point where it annoyed me so much and it angered me so much. Like, this is how I actually overcame it. Like, I just looked at myself in the mirror. I actually got so mad at myself for not being able just to speak to someone, because I just had all this constant crap going in my mind. And I just get so fed up with something, I don't care, I'm just doing it anyway. It's like when you're underslept, and then something that's usually a big deal is not really a big deal anymore. You just go and do it because you're so mad and tired. You're just like, chuck my clothes in the wash, or this, that, the other. Something that you couldn't be bothered to do before, or just like hesitant to do, you just do it anyway. I literally got to that point of it just crossed the line. I was just like, this thing is gonna happen. I don't care whether I like it or not. I'm going. Force myself to speak to someone. But I try to not make it about myself, okay? So I just speak to one person, say like a friend, for example. You're comfortable around your friend, but then you move on to like random people then eventually to speak to someone. But the important thing is one-on-one, okay? Because I can just focus on one person, focus on one person and look at them while I'm talking or while they're talking. And just basically observe them. I know that's weird to say, but you know, just the body language and things like that. And then really listen to what they're saying, okay? Not making anything about me and this stupid voice in my head. No, it was focusing on them and what they were saying, really listening and paying attention to what they're saying. And I found once you do that, you really listen to someone, you pay attention, you actually look at them, then you get more into the external. You're not so much trapped inside yourself, constantly thinking, okay? And initially, you do have to put yourself in these uncomfortable situations. You just have to overcome it. You have to push yourself to take that first step. And for me, like I said, that was the built-up frustration and anger I had for myself, because I was just so frustrated that I wasn't able to speak to someone. Do you know what I mean? And if you just push yourself that little every day, you just talk to someone, like everyone says, oh yes, ask for the time. But when you ask for the time, focus on what the other person is saying and just look at them, okay? Focus on the external world around you. Actually look around. You can do this in a group as well. So you're in a group setting in a party. If you're speaking, you don't have to look at the whole group, okay? You look at people individually. That helps you focus on one person individually. You may speak for a bit, da-da-da-da-da. You look at one person and then you turn and you look at someone else and then you speak to them. You speak to them as individuals, even though it's in a group setting. Otherwise, you can just overwhelm yourself, you know, trying to speak and then you're trying to look at everyone. That's what's worked for me, and I think it'll work for you as well. It's the same, say like there's a scary film. Oh, you're getting scared. Oh, I don't like this. Oh, there's a killer clown or whatever. Oh, I don't want to see this part. He's about to shank someone or whatever. And then you kind of want to turn away. Oh, I don't want to look. But if you look and you face that fear, you see what's happened and you overcome it, that gives you some power. That's no longer got a grip on you, okay? This social anxiety and voice in your head telling you stupid crap no longer has a hold on you once you face it and then overcome it. You beat it back, you beat it back, you beat it back. And it keeps on, every time you go into a new situation, you know, it keeps trying to get into your mind. And then, you know, you do it anyway. You beat it back, you beat it back, you beat it back. You talk to people, you listen to people, you look at people. And over time, you start stacking wins. You're like, oh, I can actually talk to people now. Oh, I can actually engage in a bit of conversation. So then what happens? You do this on so many different occasions. You've built up evidence. And what is that evidence? It's evidence of you being able to speak to people. So then you slowly start changing your identity after you built up this evidence, after you built up this confidence. You start becoming a new person. You start identifying as a new person. And that's what happened in my case. And if it can happen in my case, and I can do it, I'm pretty sure all of you watching can do the same. And another thing, just realize people aren't thinking about you in most settings, okay? You're like the main character in your story. You're a secondary character in everyone else's story, or an NPC. Just remember that. You're constantly thinking about yourself, thinking you're the most important thing in this world. Everyone else is thinking the same thing. Everyone else has their own problems. Everyone else has their own thoughts, their own crap they have to deal with. Same as you. They're not thinking about you. They're thinking of, you know, how they're going to pay their bills, their rent. They're thinking about what they're going to have for food later. They're thinking of their girlfriend, their boyfriend, if they're going to go to the gym, what they're going to do in the gym. Thinking of calling their parents. This, that, the other. They're not thinking of you. So stop, in a way, stop being so self-centered and thinking you're the only important thing in this universe, because everyone else is thinking the same thing. They've got their own problems. They've got their own issues. You're a secondary character in their world. You're an NPC in their world. So guys, just remember that. So I hope this video's helped, and if you enjoyed this one, why not watch another one? I'm sure you'll enjoy that. With that being said, you got this.